Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
Let the Record Show with Judge Richard Weinberg,
Suffolk County Republican Committee Chairman Jesse Garcia,
and essayist and commentator Eric Levine on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Welcome back to Let the Record Show with Chairman Jesse Garcia of the Republican Party. Jesse is the Vice Chair of the State Party as well as being the County Chair of the Suffolk Party. Noted attorney, commentator, and essayist Eric Levine. I'm Judge Richard Weinberg. And joining us today for our second segment is one of our favorite people, the County Executive of Nassau County, Bruce Blakeman. Bruce has just been reelected to his second term as the County Executive. His background is outstanding and impeccable. He was a commissioner of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. He was a Hempstead Town Council member, as well as being a member of the legislature of Nassau County. His county, Nassau County, is noted by objective observers as being the number one safest county in the United States of America. It's well run, have balanced budgets, and they care about the quality of life of people. Bruce, welcome to the show. We're delighted to have you here.
Thanks very much, Judge. It's an honor to be on.
Well, Jesse, since I'm turning you over to a fellow Long Islander, I'm only half a Long Islander. But kind of counts, doesn't it, Bruce?
I used to say the better half, but I can't say that anymore.
No. You're about to be the governor of the whole state, so it all counts. Jesse, you're...
Mr. County Executive, thank you for being with us. And
hey,
just sort of the friendly rivalry, very good. The friendly rivalry that occurs between County Executive Blakeman and our County Executive Ed Romaine, I think we could just say that Long Island has probably become the safest and most prosperous region in the country right now, with two Republican county executives there. Let me first congratulate you, Bruce, on your reelection at 56% in a blue county, which has got about 100,000 more Democrats than Republicans. Knowing firsthand with your Chairman Joe Cairo, a dear friend, the coalitions that you have built in Nassau County over your last 4 years, and even during your time in service there in serving the public. But I mean, there's a great question. You know, the race for governor has shaken up. You are the presumptive nominee for the Republican Party and the Conservative Party. You have just received the endorsement of President Donald Trump, the leader of our national party. And right now, I mean, for those listeners, and our listeners go beyond the Long Island region, they go up to upstate, into the Hudson Valley, into New York City. You know, why don't you just, in your own words, talk about how your policies that you set into place, that you have executed, because you have executive background, which is critical at this crossroads that we're facing here in the state of New York and our future. What would a Governor Blakeman administration look like on day one when
first
elected?
of all, Chairman, thank you so much for your support and your committee. Ed Romaine and I have a similar philosophy in governing. Balanced budgets, safe communities, making sure that people are put first, that New Yorkers are put first, and creating an environment where people can actually flourish and prosper. And that's what we all want for our kids and our grandkids. And we've been able to do it on Long Island, and we want to take that all the way from New York City all the way up to Buffalo, Elmira, Rochester, Plattsburgh, you name it. if it's a city or a town or a village in New York State, people are miserable under Kathy Hochul. And what I want to do is offer them a chance to be happy again. And I want to make them happy by having safe communities, getting our priorities straight, putting New York first, making sure that we create jobs and economic development and prosperity for our kids, and do the things that our parents taught us to do. It's not that difficult to do if you use common sense and if you remember all the things that we were told, working hard, not getting something for free. The answer is not giving a free bus trip or a free cell phone to somebody. The answer is to put people in a position where they can not only pay for necessities, but they can afford also some of the luxuries in life, the niceties in life, to be able to take your kids on vacation, to be able to buy a party dress for your daughter. That's what all New Yorkers want. And unfortunately, the misery index in New York is just off the charts, the highest tax state in the United States. It's overregulated. Businesses have left. People have left. Lost hundreds of thousands of people. I want to bring them back, and I want to keep the people that are here by making them happy, by putting New York first.
I just have one more question, and I'll turn it over to my colleagues. But it's in two parts. Number one is, how do you see the Mondami effect here in the first quarter of the first year, or the first year of the Mondami mayoral administration taking place with instituting his policies, and how that affects and defines the Democrats? That's my first question. Number two, the second question is, historically there's always been in New York, whether it be the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, a tacit divide, downstate versus upstate. How are you going to tackle that upstate and upstate connection with yet another Long Islander that's going to be the standard bearer for our party?
Yeah, so that's a very good question, Jesse. Basically, people in New York State all want the same thing. Whether you're from the Southern Tier, Western New York, Central New York, the Capital District, Hudson Valley, North Country, New York City, Long Island, it's all the same. People want safe communities. They want economic development. When I go upstate, one of the things that's very striking for me when I go up there is the lack of economic development. People are living paycheck to paycheck upstate, and there's no reason why New York State can't be one of the most prosperous states in the United States instead of being the misery state in the United States. And again, it's doing the things that our parents taught us, the values that we were taught. And that brings me into Mondami. Mondami is the antithesis of what I was taught and what you were taught growing up. First of all, capitalism has created more wealth in the history of America than any other economic form of business structure. And the fact is that this is the way to create jobs, not have, as I said before, someone who is an avowed socialist, might even be a communist, who wants to wreck the economy of the city of New York, which is the financial capital of the world. New York City is the center of capitalism, and now we've got a socialist mayor, and I'll tell you what, I won't let him do that if I become governor. I'm going to stop him from doing that. I'm not going to let him destroy the economy of New York City. I'm not going to let him make it unsafe in New York City. I'll bring the state police down if I have to. If he's not enforcing the law, I, as governor, will enforce the law. He talks about crazy things like defunding the police, like sending social workers on police calls. It's just total nonsense. And, I was hoping that maybe he would moderate his rhetoric after the election. But if you look at his transition team is filled with people that don't share American values. They're socialists. They're people who don't love the police department and all of our first responders like the FDNY who keep us safe every day. They think it's just going to happen by itself. And, as governor, I'm not going to let that happen. I'll stand up to Mondami. If he's not enforcing the law, I will. And I will not let him destroy the financial capital of the world of New York City.
Eric. County Executive, welcome. Pleasure
Thank you.
to have you. So I live in Westchester, but I am a proud graduate of the class of 1976 from Walt Whitman High School in South Huntington, Long Island. So I was born and bred on Long Island. And we won't put you on the spot, but I just want to let you know I'm a Mets fan, and Jesse's a Yankees fan, and historically Long Island has been a haven for Mets fans. I won't ask you where you are, but just wanted to point that out.
So let me say this. One of the things that I never want to be is a phony politician and hedge. So I will tell you clearly, my father was a Yankee fan. I was brought up a Yankee fan. I'm a Yankee fan. And that's not to denigrate any Mets fans out there, and we love the Mets.
I think the race has just ended today. Thank you so much. We should book this in the Republican column for New York governor.
And by the way, I'm a Bills fan.
Look, I have told my kid I can forgive any sin. They just can't marry a Yankee fan. So I'm not sure where this puts me. But in any event.
Well, if it was Derek Jeter, you might change your mind.
No, then it's even worse. The most overrated shortstop in the history of baseball.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God.
For another time.
All right, gentlemen, to the merits.
Bruce, I can tell you that Eric does come off a lot smarter than he's coming off right now, usually on the show.
That's exactly right, Jesse. Go ahead.
All right, the price of energy. One thing that it's been a colossal failure for this state has been energy. No fracking, no nuclear, no natural gas, and just by coincidence, of course, the price of energy is skyrocketing here. How do we bring down the price of energy in New York?
Well, it's very simple. First of all, you stop the green energy scam of Kathy Hochul, where you have all these green energy policies that don't produce any electricity whatsoever, but they cost the taxpayers millions and millions of dollars. Her campaign contributors make a lot of money off it, and I'm very grateful that President Trump just canceled the wind farms in the ocean because that was a debacle. That program, why build them in the middle of the ocean? It's a danger to marine life, commercial fishing, recreational fishing. It's the most expensive form of energy. I would open up the Marcellus area to fracking. I think that basically we have more natural gas there than we know what to do with. And you know what? When I'm on the southern tier in New York and I'm driving through there, it's very stark, the contrast between Pennsylvania and New York. In Pennsylvania, they're driving brand new Cadillacs. And in New York, just over the border, they're driving 25-year-old Chevys. We can create economic prosperity there and cheap energy. In addition, we need the pipeline. That is key. And Governor Hochul has this crazy fixation about not letting people have gas for their homes, which is a clean and cheap form of energy, which is something that people want. And now she's canceling the 100-foot program, and it's a big mistake as far as I'm concerned.
So another thing that is,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Eric.
I was going to say another hallmark of the Hochul administration is that when the Kafia Nazis were out at Columbia, NYU, and CUNY, and as they were storming Grand Central Station and marching down Lexington Avenue and closing airports, she was in the witness protection program with Chuck Schumer doing nothing. What is it you would do as governor to make sure that Jews are safe throughout the state?
Well, I already did it. I have the third largest Jewish population in the United States in Nassau County. We have 300,000 people who identify themselves as Jews. We have a lot of religious institutions, a lot of synagogues, Jewish schools, yeshivas, and basically the same thugs that were at Columbia University came to Nassau County. We know that because we got intelligence bulletins from NYPD, which we have a great relationship with. And they met a different response there. I had my aviation unit, my canine unit, my mounted unit, my Bureau of Special Operations, my ESU, Emergency Services Unit, all out in force. And when they came to Nassau County, the same exact people, we told them, there's the sidewalk, protest all you want as long as you don't harass anybody or commit any acts of violence, and don't step off the sidewalk. If you do, a police officer will politely ask you to get back on, And if you don't get on the sidewalk, you're getting arrested and removed. They came 4 times to Nassau County and tried that nonsense. So as governor, what was shocking to me is that the governor pretended to be a friend of the Jewish people, and she sat by. I would have sent the state police into Columbia University. I don't need an invitation as governor to be brought in if people are breaking the law and harassing people and committing acts of violence and occupying real estate. I can do that as governor, and I would have done that. I would have ended that thing in a day.
Rob Ed.
Well said. Well said, Bruce. Bruce, let me ask you this question. It's a matter of real concern, and we've talked about this amongst ourselves, Jesse and Eric and I, over the years. And while my good friend Eric always disputes this for the record, saying, I'm not a Democrat. I am a Democrat. I'm a common sense Democrat. I'm a moderate. But I'm very troubled by the fact that the Democratic Party has been taken over by a fringe. I'm very concerned that the state legislature, both the Assembly and the Senate, are run by a fringe. I think it's absolutely essential that we have 2 parties, countervailing forces against each other, moving to moderation and common sense, not have everything pushed through by the radicals in the legislature and having a weak governor. What are your thoughts about this crisis of having a one-party state?
Well, I think you can see the results. The fact that we're the most overtaxed state, the fact that we're overregulated, the fact that hundreds of thousands of people in the last 4 years have left New York State. It's a record of misery under Kathy Hochul. So basically what I think I would do is bring both Andrew Stewart Cousins and Carl Hastie into my office, and I'd say, look, there's a lot of things we're not going to agree on. Let's see if we can negotiate, and you give me a little something, I'll give you a little something, because you got to negotiate. If you have a Democrat legislature as the Republican governor, you're not going to get everything you want, but they're not going to get everything they want either from me. I'm going to be tough. I'm going to be firm, and I'm going to stand up and say, okay, things like cashless bail. I'm going to say to them, look, you want this in the budget? I want cashless bail out. So that's the way I would approach it, and I would stand firm.
Well, Bruce Blakeman, County Executive of Nassau County, the presumptive Republican nominee for governor of this great Empire State. Jesse and Eric and I want to thank you for being on the show today. This has been a fascinating conversation. You're a great public servant. We're honored and privileged to have had you on the show today. We wish you every good wish in the forthcoming campaign. The future of New York State depends on common sense leadership, and you've demonstrated throughout your years of public service that you are the embodiment of common sense, vision, and action. So we're wishing you a great holiday season, and we wish you a very healthy and happy New Year and great success in the new year in your political aspirations. Thank you for joining us today, Mr.
Well,
County
happy and healthy New Year to all of you, and it's an honor to be on the show. I hope you invite me back again real soon. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Let the Record Show with Judge Weinberg, Chairman Jesse Garcia, and Eric Levine. You can hear Let the Record Show Sunday mornings at 6. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode, so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.